On this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly, spring sports and the senior social. All this and more coming up next. Hi, welcome to this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly. I'm your host, Connor Burns. As this school year ends, the senior class house begins their transition back to the freshman center. Sam tells you about these adjustments.
After graduation this May, Dean Jones, the social worker, and the 3 counselors start their transition back to the freshman center. In this transition, there is an opportunity for success and challenges.
Biggest change is it's a smaller environment. Obviously, working with different staff, we kind of look forward to the staff over there. We only get to work with once every 3 years, so we always look forward to that. And then really the biggest difference is we go from knowing kids really well for 4 years to now reintroducing or introducing ourselves and building relationships and really identifying issues. Is probably the biggest thing at the freshman level.
At the freshman center, issues are not the only thing that start to form, but a strong relationship between the dean and their class.
I feel like you see the same kids more often. Like, there's such a big difference just from freshman to sophomore year. You go from kind of seeing the same kids every day to even when they get here in the main building sophomore years, you might see those kids, some kids once a week. We're used to kind of seeing them every day because it is such a smaller environment.
Congratulations to the class of 2021 on finishing their last year at Nequa, and good luck to Dean Jones and his staff for the class of 2025. And for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Sam Applebaum.
Spring sports are finally underway this year. April and Hannah have the details.
In the beginning of the year, IHSA had announced that spring sports would have their seasons postponed. Now, those sports are finally getting ready to have their seasons despite the difficulties that COVID presents. Even though there are many setbacks for this year, each Nequa team is excited and determined to have a great season.
One of the big changes is obviously COVID. We're learning to play with our masks on right now, which is super different. But I think the team's going to do really well. We're a resilient group. We didn't have a season last year, so I think we're all really excited to be out here competing in any sort of form.
Our practices are a lot more important, so you can see the kids being a little bit more emphasizing things that we need to do correctly in practice so we can get ready for sectionals and things like that.
What I'm looking forward to most is kind of like being on the team this year. Our season got cut short last year, so we weren't at all like to be like a team together last year. And we're just going to do our best and have fun this season.
So the thing I'm excited about is to actually see these athletes who I've been working with for years, and our coaches have been working with for years, to see them sort of finish the season that they never finished.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this season because I finally get to see people and socialize more. So I finally get to, have fun again.
So I think what I'm most excited for this season is to just get back on the mat with the teammates and my friends, you know what I'm saying? It's been a while since we've been able to be out there and compete together, so I'm just excited to compete.
One of our main goals for this season is to make conference, win conference and make it further into the playoffs, especially with not having a season last year because of COVID. A lot of these guys, myself included, have not had that experience, and we really just want to get to that level and continue to push forward.
About 2 months prior to tryouts, we had open gyms for about 3 days a week, and then after tryouts, we only had 7 days of practice before the start of the season, and those were very long and lengthy and hard practices. So we went into the season pretty prepared.
It is kind of harder to bond because of the mask and limited time. With the whole Corona thing, we have been wanting to play, so we're all happy to be here and on the field. We only had 5 practices till our first game, so we all had to work together to be our best for the rest of the season.
So I think it's really special. We all have to kind of come together a bit more than every other year to kind of figure out what we're doing and how we're playing. So we took a whole year off like any other team. So I think it's created a lot more team chemistry, I'd say. I feel a bit more closer to my teammates in the beginning of the year than normal. So I honestly think that's a positive out of this whole experience.
Good luck to all spring sports with their season. Be sure to cheer on your fellow Wildcats. For Wildcat Weekly, along with Hannah Kestenberg, I'm April Grove.
A new senior event is coming up on May 7th. Jim has the rundown.
Prom and Senior Spectacular aren't it for this year's seniors. In a couple weeks, there will be a brand new event for the class of 21. Taking place in front of Neuqua Valley on Friday, May 7th from 8 to 10 p.m. is the all-new Senior Social. The Kona Ice Truck will be there, along with many opportunities to take pictures and hang out with your friends. But the coolest part, there's going to be lights and a DJ, similar to the car parade in October.
The front of the building will be exactly the same. Some of the lights will be in different positions, but the overall concept of the front of the building being completely illuminated with light and color will be there. We will have a DJ. DJ will be there. We'll be kind of broadcasting put some speakers around the front of the building and kind of have some music kind of being able to be heard from all around the front.
For seniors who couldn't make it to Senior Spectacular or aren't planning on going to prom, Senior Social offers one last opportunity to kick back and have fun with the entire grade before everybody graduates.
I think it's a special event because we've never done this before for seniors. I think it's another opportunity for the class to come together because there have not been too many opportunities this year for you guys to come together as a whole class.
If you want to attend the Senior Social, you are going to need an RSVP. Head to the Student Splash page, click on Senior Social, and a link to the form should be right there. Hope to see you all there, and for Wildcat Weekly, I'm Jim Reindell.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Wildcat Weekly. Have a great weekend, Wildcats.